are we? How are we? Starboy's popping in to hang out. Gonna hang out with his wife. Red's already here. Ian's here. Bjorn's here. Look at that. Anthony, hit the like button. You guys know the drill. I'm Famine. If you're new to the channel, we do sci-fi world building, customizing, prop making, mostly customizing and world building. Sometimes I do one-to-one props, but today we're gonna be using a like a sound box from inside of a stuffed toy that got junked to make like a sci-fi air conditioner unit, like on the side of a building, like a wall wart type situation from scratch. We'll relay it up and paint it and make it look like something. So I'll go ahead and bring you guys down to the lower angle. And today we are doing a cranberry lime seltzer. You'll be noticing we are absent from a cat in this box. That is because we are waiting for the cat to realize that I'm in here doing something, in which turn he will come here and scratch on the door and want to come in. So I've already done the dirty work, as it were, for you guys of cutting up. Give me 1 second here. It's been that kind of day. Cooperate me. Taking out the insides of this electronic bit. We're gonna scuff it up. Kitties know. Kitties are trouble. Let me tell you. With some green Scotch Brite. All of a sudden, I had a little ice cream. Now I'm losing my voice. A little green Scotch Brite. And we're just gonna maybe hit some spots with this sanding stick, but it's got that shiny ass plastic on it. So we want to take that down so that the paint will grip on it when we prime it. Right now we're just sorry, the television was making noise and I forgot the TV was on. We're just gonna go ahead. I do have the Kung Fu grip. We're gonna go ahead and scuff the surface, like I said. Make it so the primer wants to bond to it. Oh, it's Quinny wandering around out there making all kinds of noise. He wants the other cats to play, and they're both sleepy. That's a 2mm EVA phone that you're looking for. You can get it in sheets at Michael's. You guys can't see the message that I just got, but I can read the answer about. Storming here might not be able to stay for the whole thing. Well, yes, be safe, Bjorn. You know. Be careful. That's what we care about. But I mean, be sure to like and share this with everybody. Share it with people you don't like. But you know, the important thing is that you're here for my ratings. See? That's because it popped up on the screen. And you know, I'm like Ron Burgundy. I can't not read anything that shows up on the screen. All right, who's the moron that put the question mark on the teleprompter at the end? You know Ron will read whatever's up there. Like the anchor man. Anchorman, eh? Anchorman. I'm Ron Burgundy? That's cool. We took that super shine off. That's just gonna make that take any paint or glue in the future right off. First, I'm going over with the rough side of the sanding stick. What did everybody what everybody get up to today? Anybody do anything fun? Today we had some remarkable weather here. I had a doctor's appointment. Got to go spend some time with Kenny, see the dogs and the cats. So it was a good day today. Hmm. I've got I can't remember if I said it, but I've got Red Dawn on the TV right now, and they're at the point of the movie where they free up they attack the one camp where the fighter planes are. The concentration camp. 5.5 hours at the clinic, man. I'm sorry. Dear Lord. Powers Booth, man. What a fucking phenomenal actor. Even before they did the remake of this movie, which was not a bad remake, by the way. It's nowhere near as great as this was, even for its time. But when they announced the remake, I always thought that Jeffrey Dean Morgan would do great to play Powers Booth's character, and yeah, they actually cast him as that. So great thing. Bjorn says his Marauders haven't arrived. Ian picked up a bunch of TVC figures from the delivery box earlier. That's the This is one of those films like Fight Club, things like that, that I can just watch and repeat the words right off of. The reason I kept the back and everything on there is I'm just going to use that as more surface area for gluing things. Watched Powers Booth, noir TV show from the 80s. Philip Marlowe, Private Eye. Nice. What's up, Abby? Whipped out a couple of quick figures, experimented with some wet blending and dudes, mostly just messed around, talked with this one nerd for a while on FaceTime. Well, that's funny that I threw myself under that bus. I'm like, let's make fun of my friend's sexuality as a joke. And then I'm the dude in the joke. All right, so let's glue. I think we should hot glue in this button. I don't want to use super glue for it yet. I want to hot glue the button in place. That's there, and I want to put something behind this grill just so that I don't have to fill all that with detail. I think I've got those shapes in that little pail. If I do, see if any circles big enough for that speed. I guarantee I don't. Nope. 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 I do not have any circles big enough for that speaker. I'll just put a square. Yeah, I do have a circle that can go in there. I was gonna say I'll just put a square of cardboard behind it, but let me get my hot glue gun, flip it on the table. There we go. And we've got the hot glue gun heating up, and I've significantly jostled this thing around enough for the day. And how's everybody doing? We doing good? There we go. Catch the replay. Be well, my friend. Hopefully your time wraps up there sooner than later. Yeah, that'll work. I think I can cut. I'm just gonna cut a couple of stems from the inside where the screws would go that were holding this thing together, because I can use the depth. Boy, Quinny's a little whiny guy today. He got some fresh air in him, and he turned into a noisy little man. Shoot straight, you army pukes. Shoot straight for once, you army pukes, I should say. Real quick, just to establish some steps so you don't have to paint the inside later. I do have some black paint already there on my palette. Load up my brush. Give this a quick coat of black paint. And I'm just using craft chalkboard paint. You guys have seen it before. But this is kind of like my new go-to primer. There's that. And then I'm also going to get the interior that you see in there of that kind of front surface there. It'll help with any light leak, I think, even though there's going to be no electronics in it. And yeah, essentially I'm doing it because I can. But it'll help me not have to paint so far into the grates to try and establish a look, because it's going to be under scrutiny of a closer camera um, in a pretty small area. So just rationalizing some of the things I do for no reason other than I feel like explaining them will help maybe somebody else with the logic of why I do certain things. And maybe I'm onto something, or maybe I'm wrong. People on the internet will come along, and if you're doing something wrong, they will surely let you know. Never had people not let me know when I'm doing something wrong on the internet. So if I am wrong, leave a comment below. Hot glue gun's hotting. Finish your second Mandalorian Shadow Guard. Take some photos. Hell yeah. Jason the Sci-Fi Holiday Kits. Yeah, you do. What's up, Brad? Welcome back. I've been eyeballing a couple of I have one of Jason's hallway kits. I have a couple of them actually, and I've been like pirating pieces off of one. That double alliteration is nice. But I've been pirating pieces off of one to use, and I'm thinking about picking up a couple of those Tantive 4 hallways and combining them with that. I think that'd make an interesting like ship interior or hallway for diorama photos, or even just like a photo set for taking pictures of like figures in a more neutral background, but still sci-fied out. Poor homie's body's just fucking draped on the gun of the tank. I get sucked into this movie. Sorry, one of those that I've probably seen 50, 60 times and just doesn't get old. Plus, it's Patrick Swayze. Dude was a generational talent. No, not tonight. No. Why? What's going on? Is the world on fire? Yeah, tonight I'm not watching the news, at least for now. Um, I've got Red Dawn on, which I guess you could confuse the two if you were to like watch the some of the same actors. That means two things. All right, it's gluing time. Right, that's what Wolverine always said, and that was Joseph Grimm. It's hot gluing time. I think is what he said in the Fantastic Five. I still didn't cut that down, son of a bitch. Just pop it off, fam, and it's okay. You can always go back. Thank you, self. Just gonna make a quick correction here. I've got to nip a little piece off, so I just undid that hot glue while it's still hot, which I'm sure will have no ill effects on my project at a later time. But I wanted to cut this down. I will say I did have a good doctor's appointment today, my physical for the year. Um, I lost 4 pounds, I think 5 pounds since the last time I was at my doctor's office, which is a good thing. So, yeah, buddy. And having a doctor that's advocating for me, which feels nice. So, we're doing all right, kids. We're doing all right. I do have to go give blood on Monday, though. They said they're gonna need a gill. How much? How much is a gill? Lana, how much is a gill? One of my favorite jokes from Archer. How much blood did you take? About a gill. Ah, look. We're good. Boy, Quinny is being rambunctious out there. I hear Storm and Daisy chasing each other. I don't know if they're chasing each other or chasing Quinn. But Daisy does like to chase the boys. You getting chased, Quinny? It's like, fuck you, Dad. You know what's going on out here. It's like, this is some bullshit. Lovely ball cat. Excuse me, I'm gonna burp. Sorry for the earphone people. Not to imply that anybody has a hearing disability. Some people watch my show and they listen with headphones in. That was not to call somebody like an earphone people. That would be terrible. I meant like an extra on fire. You know what I mean? You know how it goes. You have an earbud in. See, you're one of them fucking ear people. All right, we're gonna put a little lip of hot glue, kind of on the inside, kind of on the exterior of the lip here. And this is just gonna let this fucking thing sink right in. It's gonna stay there. And now we've got some type of unit that we're going to turn into an air conditioner unit or like a hab unit. Sci-fi, fucking Wall Greebly, baby. Wall Greebly. I'd be a good Star Wars character. My name is Wall Greebly. I'm here to rescue you. Aren't you a little short to be an ice agent? Hmm. Did that just fall out? Sorry, Freud slipped a little bit. So again, that's together. That speaker interior is backed with a piece of plastic with black on it, so it's something that we don't have to try and paint in there. That button's been glued in place. So now I'm just going to do the exterior in this black that I use as a primer. And we'll probably do two coats just to be sure. We'll dry them with a little dryer if we need to. What is that? Exacto knife. Oh, it's a piece of plastic. Oh, it's a hot glue string. Couldn't figure out what it was or where it came from. Giving this bad boy. Like I said, we'll do two. We'll be smart about it. We'll do two coats. And then we'll cure it. We'll put a coating on there of Mod Podge, semi-gloss actually. Well, we'll get this coat of primer on here, then we'll start tacking things on and see where we want to go. And I normally would glue like straight to the white material here, but I want to put this coating on here. This dries so flat, it like almost has like a texture, a very faint texture. So it's gonna be like a almost like an additional toothy surface, but it's gonna allow us to play a little bit with our paints when we put them on, of having two different finishes below it. It's fun to experiment. We can experiment. And that's it, right? Because why not? And we could take our brush, and you guys know how I like to stipple it, but I don't think it needs to be stippled this time. Like I said, we're gonna let this dry, give it a quick once over, put another coating on of it, and then see where things lie. So, got this bad boy. What's up, Triple D? one of the channel members. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And anybody who's a patron, thank you for joining here tonight. Appreciate it. You guys are help keeping the lights on quite literally. The electricity is through the roof here in New York State and a lot of places. Has less to do currently with what is going on in the Middle East and more to do specifically with my state allowing rate hikes to make up for AI data centers and alleged energy farms that haven't been developed yet. And they've raised our delivery prices up by 20 some percent per kilowatt hour. And it's so bad, like people are writing into local news stations, newspapers. So you guys are quite literally patrons and channel members are quite literally helping to keep the lights on. So thank you guys very much for that. I am one person, like I don't sleep with the TV on or anything like that. I damn near every single one of my light bulbs is some sort of energy saver. I don't have any like power leeches or super power draws. My house is pretty insulated for when it was made. I'm sure I could do more, and I will be doing more in the coming seasons to insulate it, but they're hitting people hard. They're charging. Also, there's been a lot of instances where people are calling fraud, where they've had buildings where there's nobody there, all the electricity shut off. They had the meters come, the all the outlets and everything come and had been read, and were being charged like regular usage fees for their locations that nobody was at for months on end. So, excuse me, but apparently the state is um, investigating it, and once they're done investigating it, we'll see what happens. But I've got a feeling it's going to be, oh, we changed a little bit of laws, and going forward, they won't be able to raise it anymore. Go ahead and put that second coating on here. Bjorn, will you be having a new title? And since that title will probably be captain, do your coworkers know about that? Now they just shot their traitorous friends. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, it's glue leaking out. Working somewhere else entirely while also working at the toy store. Oh, that's cool. Maybe, possibly. Is this a you'd like to work at two places, or is this a necessity type situation? Because I've been in that specific spot before, and I've also um, had instances where I love doing what I was doing and could also do other things elsewhere. I just want to know what level of congratulations I should be giving you, Bjorn. Is that okay? Is that all right with you? Because they'd have to have people. They'd have to have people that live there to do the work and pay them a living wage for being there. So they'd rather wreck, small town USA because nobody will remember those people. Necessity. All right. Well, I hope managing both things are going to be easier for you, my friend. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Don't cry, Patrick Swayze. One thing is for sure, we can never go home again. It's way past that scene. That's one that always stuck with me. Very young Charles Sheen. That's what we used to call him back in the day before it became like the Brat Pack. He was Charles Sheen. There we go. Next 3 weeks is going to be interesting. Trying to build one in your hometown. They should hmm, fuck it, I'll say it. They should maybe consider ways of ecologically seeding land and resources that prevent the deforestation of said seized property. Take that how you will. They should learn about it in case it happens. If they see it happening, then they would know. All right, so we got some cardboard. My tiny little ruler's in the other room because I was using it for something, so I'll have to use a full size ruler. That's okay. It's all right. We've got our X-Acto blade, our full size rulers, our crush on Jennifer Grey. Mm, So I'm thinking I want some type of like sci-fi shaped panel here, not necessarily like a fully fleshed out panel, but just the like a metal panel there. That makes sense. Excuse me, I'm gonna burp again. I cannot help it. This is what my body does. A few light passes and oh, go. Son of a bitch. I can't cut a straight. I can't cut a straight line to save my life. Yes, I know that even with a ruler, I don't know, somehow I always fuck it up. It's the craziest thing to me, but it's also probably everything to do with I'm not leaning over my work to see it. So that's all right. Because I needed I'm not excusing my bad cutsmanship or scissormanship or craftsmanship. I'm just saying. Here we go. I'm going to sci-fi panel this up. Mm, Yeah, that'll work. Now we'll flip it over. You know my drill with adhering cardboard to things. Scuff up the side that's being adhered, even if it's really thin cardboard like This is like it's stiff, but it's very thin. Unfortunately, they don't make a pill for that, fellas, so you're on your own. But it's got a plasticky print coating on the back, so we're going to use that for adherence. We scuffed it up, and when we put the super glue on here, it will help with adhesion. Okay. So first thing we'll do, stand it up, and I'm thinking that's the way that's going to go on. Shout out to Anthony, who got me these awesome little pipettes and super glue combos. This is the tits, as the kids say. There we go. Oh, whoop, whoop. There we go. And I somehow still super glued myself to it. Son of a bitch. Just gonna put a little on the corners. So we got a panel on there. And then once it cures, we will take a tool with a pin tip, and we'll punch little rivets into the surface, just in the corners, because that's one of those things that's like super sci-fi. We could put some larger rivets on there. Sorry. Super low on my skin. It's one of those strange feelings that I dislike. If you're working fast enough, you don't notice it, but if you're like me today and you're kind of taking your time thinking about what you're doing, which isn't always what I do, I'm just gonna so you can see it here. Just putting a little dent in the card. To make it look like this was fastened with some sort of mechanical fastener. And that to me is just one of those things that goes the extra mile. And you could go nuts with it. Like if your world is more, there's a lot more rivets than other worlds, you could absolutely go nuts and just actually do punch rivets all the way around. They make little tools that are like rollers. You could absolutely do that and just make it look like it's really welded on there, or excuse me, riveted on there. You could use glue and make fake weld seams. You have a lot of options. So let's see, something for the top. I had these rectangles from model railroads. Here they are. So let's use these. We'll put those on the bottom. I feel like those look like the unit might be placed on something if it's not attached to the side of the building. So it signifies that maybe this was a utilitarian, like they took it off of something and cobbed it something else. I think that's what we use those for. So we're going to scuff these up real quick. Just scuffing them up so they'll take paint better. They've got that kind of plasticky metal look, and these are off of an HO scale kit. Um, it's like an accessory kit for some sort of plant. So you can tell the difference here. This one's not been sanded. This one has. And I'm also sanding the bottom for adhesion's sake. Just a little bit more for it to grab into. He's gonna leave her there. He's gotta go. Because the Russians and the Cubanos, they're gonna come back and get him. Goddamn invaders. But he gave her a grenade so she can give them the business. And for this piece, I could have used hot glue, but this is fine. Nope. Come on. There we are. Aren't they Portuguese? Uh, I thought it was the Cubans and the Russians. I don't know. Yeah, I'm terrible at this. I know in the remake it was supposed to be the Chinese and the North Koreans, and then the studio was like, "Nah, you got to change it. Um, too many issues, and also too many issues with the game Homefront that was coming out because it had the same enemy invaders that would have been in the game." Yeah. Okay, so like I said, that's the so if that were like on a rooftop, that's how that would sit. But they've repurposed it and copped it to the side of a building. I just like little weird details like that. I don't know why. I think we'll put not another round thing on there, like something square maybe. Square or another triangle or rectangle. Homefront's one of my favorite games. The opportunity was there for so much more. The book that came out at the same time was very well done. It actually shared some of the same writers of Red Dawn. Rectangle piece there. Mm, another rectangle. Did I get a square? Did I see a square? Could have sworn I saw a square. I thought, put it at. I did. It was a rectangle, but we'll take it. And we'll go ahead and we'll put the same, we'll do the rivets on this one ahead of time since it's wood. And we can really lean into it to make that effect. Oh, lean into it too far and you put a hole in it. I'll just flip that over. Sand that flat on this side. Call it a day. We didn't totally overdo it, putting our holes in. We just won't push that hard this time through. Son of a bitch, I did it again. And this one's okay to keep. Is it okay to keep? It's not. That's not enough for me. That does not fit my level of acceptable. Could I cut a piece of cardstock in that shape in a square, little rectangle? Yeah. No, absolutely, I could. Do I want to do it? No. Might I do it? Possibly. Got all these pieces of like scraps, but no. No. Got those goofy foam rivets, but they're for like a bigger thing, and I don't want so many round things on this. No, not there. Maybe. I know y'all can't see what I'm doing, but just trust that I've got your best interest in mind. Wait. Yes. Possibly. Maybe some type of guard. Like to keep drones from like flying again. No, I don't know. Keep that in mind. Let's just work with these pieces. Yeah. Cool. It's on there. And we'll do one up here because asymmetrical things are weird and fun. Goddamn son of a bitch shot Patrick Swayze. Motherfucker. Yeah. So you better let them boys walk away. They're gonna go. They're gonna go sit together in a swing. And they're just, some say they're still sitting there till today. And now the Cuban looks at his hands, knowing that he just almost used a Russian weapon against the Americans that he didn't even want to be there for, because he always sided with the partisans, the rebels, and now he's part of the colonizing. War has many horrors. Wolverines. Of Romeo and Juliet and the voice of Tweety Bird. I actually don't think I can do a Tweety Bird impression. Now I think I have to retire. If I can't do one, I think I have to give up my pass to the talent agency. Mm, let's do. Let's clip these two like handles off the sides, and we'll use those as like ladder pieces. Off of this piece of kit. Oh, that was from the Helix space truck or Helix that I ordered. That a Toyota Helix model 118 scale. Use your words, fam, and use your words. That I was going to turn into a space Toyota Helix Rebel vehicle, and all it turned out to be was pieces that can go on a Helix if you find it, even though the listing did show and say you got the truck. So that's what I learned about that. Partisan rock. In the early days of World War III, guerrillas, mostly children, placed the names of their lost upon this rock. They fought here alone and gave their lives that this nation shall not perish from the earth. Starring Patrick Swayze as Jed, C. Talis Howell, Leah Thompson, Charlie Sheen, Darren Dalton, Jennifer Grey, Brad Savage, Doug Toby, also starring Harry Dean Stanton, Ron O'Neill, William Smith, Howard Booth. Sorry. Sometimes a girl just wants to have a little fun, you know what I mean? What? Heads up. Sorry, we had a piece go flying. In case anybody's curious as to what I'm doing and can't tell, I'm sanding this plastic down because it is notoriously tough to get proper adhesion to without proper abrading of a surface. And then to follow up, once that's done, is and then we'll glue it on. But yeah, I'm using these pieces off of this truck to greebly up this air conditioner unit. And I figured maybe these handles are also like they double as rungs to climb up if you're doing roof work or something. I don't know. It's science fiction. It's going to add character. Maybe it's some type of electronic coil. I don't know. Okay. Just double check that these are both nice and rough. We'll make it smooth, rough. It's a little MC Hammer for you kids if you haven't heard that one before. Ah, who the fuck is Mick Hammer? If anybody can tell me what Mick Hammer is from, I'll be impressed. Come on, you hoe. Why are you saying such mean things to your toys? Well, it wouldn't be a mean thing if it wasn't being such a hoe. Alright. I use the zip kicker, zap kicker, accelerator. Because gravity ain't working with me today. Okay, it's just not going to work at all. There we go. Had to use the activator on it to get it to stay in place. Just to like stay upright, because I guess it's just a little heavier than what the glue can load before it's uncured. So that's the first one. And then I'll put another one down here. So like stairs. Or ladder rungs. And in this case, I'm starting to think maybe the paint is impeding adhesion. So I'm going to cheat a little. I'm going to try this. I'm just going to scrape away a little bit of the paint in the two spots where the glue should go. And see if that helps a little bit with adhesion. And I've also got the kicker out, so. All right, that'll work. Two drops of super glue. And boom. I like what you did, Ant. I like the cut of your jib. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was good. People are gonna love that one. But we are gonna cheat right now. Air off a little bit of this curing agent. Nebula started it. What did Nebula say? Famine is too legit to quit. McHammer comes to the side fried shit. No, McHammer is not Irish. Too legit. Too legit to quit. Hey, hey. Why they gave that tape to me as a child, I'll never know. Why I was able to purchase that as a child. Not that Too Legit to Quit was anything bad, but you know, the other stuff. Hammer don't hurt them. Tell me, have you seen her? Oh, tell me, have you seen her? Have you seen her? I had no idea this was sing along with Famine. Crisscross. Crisscross will mix you up like the Miggity Miggity Million Mac. Because inside out, it's wiggity 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 whack. The daddy MAC makes you JUMP. Make it sound like you ain't never heard. Heard. I'm just cutting some cardboard, kids. I don't know what that was. I love that noise though. Denver School for Spirit Week did Crisscross Day. Yep. Yeah, we did the same goddamn thing. They were like, oh, it's backwards or crisscross mixed up day. So my mother, being the connoisseur of all things black culture, decided to quite literally get me a set of like third hand from the thrift store. Actually, I think I may have had them if we're being completely honest. No, we did go to the thrift store to buy them. Um, overalls, denim overalls, so that I could wear them backwards and with one strap undone. But the thing is, realistically, I probably could have deduced how to do it myself, but I didn't know how to undo them because I don't think I had ever worn them except when I was like a little kid. So I was like, wasn't supposed to unbutton yourself. Every time you tried, they'd be a hard time. So this was like first grade, maybe second grade. First grade. Had to have been first grade. Um, and yeah, I couldn't remember how to unclip them. So like I didn't pee all day until I really had to pee. And I finally like asked to go to the bathroom. And so the teacher walks me down to the bathroom and I'm in there for like 10, 15 minutes. And she's like, are you okay? Do I need to go get the nurse? It was because I couldn't get the fucking things undone while I was in the bathroom because I didn't remember how. And then I was afraid I'd have to drop trow because you've got them on backwards, so you do have to drop the things low. And I was afraid to drop trow in the bathroom at school because you're not supposed to have your butt out like Butters taking a piss. Like, what a bizarre memory to still retain at this age. Oh man, that's right. Laugh at the trauma. Is that what you're supposed to do? Oh, and here's a great example of the panels. See, they've got a bunch of rivets on there. Those are raised rivets, but you can do pressed in rivets and get the same, damn near same effect. So that's free to take home. Take that home, try it with family, see if they like it. And I joke about my mother being a connoisseur of black culture because my mother, while she would date black men, and I was never, ever, ever raised to treat anybody black any different than anybody. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Um, but my mom would, what I now know, is appropriate things of that culture in those relationships. One of those was her dressing her very Caucasian son like I was a young black kid and sending me to school in like back to Africa fucking t-shirts and things. Not back to Africa, like go back to Africa, but the Queen Latifah back to Africa, the whole movement, that type of back to Africa shirt. Um, with the continent of Africa on it and the sunset and all this other shit. And like I think there was one of my shirts had a quote from Malcolm X, which I kind of wish that I still had now. So yeah, she was real good at that appropriation station. Thump. Oh, Shaun of the Dead is on. My favorite zombie movie. All right. Hmm, maybe this top one. Yeah, we'll keep it in the theme of just doing 4 rivets. It's good. Hmm. Do we have any other oddball greeblies that I'd like to stick on this thing? Excuse me again. My apologies, guys. It's not often that I burp like Rick Sanchez while I'm doing things and then continue doing them, but when I do, it's Dos Equis. Yeah, do this. Got some bread clips. I save these because they're styrene and they're great for little sci-fi panel pieces. And they come in different colors. I'm sure the colors and all the info and the way that they're cut mean something, but I don't care enough. So I've just been snatching these for the plastic. And yeah, I'll cut them into a couple like little greebly pieces. So now I'm just cleaning up my cuts in the sections that had the long random bits. I actually saved myself a little bit of labor. Maybe. If you'll bear with me just for one moment, kids. That's what I have to grab here. Ugh. Back. Did you guys miss me? What's this little button do? Start a goal. Okay. No, God, no. We're gonna start a goal because apparently that helps. Let's see. Yeah, we'll celebrate. We'll do this for an hour. Mhm. Maybe we'll set this up for a post WMC. I can't read the screen that I'm typing on because it's so wee. There we go. There. I think I did a thing. Did I do a thing? Look at that. I did a thing. You don't have to do the thing. Apparently, it helps that the thing exists. The Winchester? Grab car. Kill Phil. Grab mom. Run by Liz. Swing by the Winchester. Have a pint wait for us all to blow over. Yeah, boy. Love this movie. You don't get it. Get what? Area Man appears to be entering his old man era. Look at this. Fully gray beard now. It's essentially just all gray. I've got my hat on. I'm over here with a file and a piece of plastic. I look like one of those outdoor whittling guys. Yeah, I'll probably do a stream after WMC. It needed me to put something in the goal field to encourage the goal to appear and encourage people to send super chats. But apparently, it helps the algorithm to have those types of things going on, which means that you're interacting with your live community, which hopefully shares this video with people. So I have been Sean in this scenario where the friends are constantly there with the partner, and it's always humorous to me. And the one friend being desperately in love with my partner, very funny. It was like, oh, they nailed a very strong stereotype or archetype. Would that be an archetype instead of a stereotype? Trope. They nailed a trope that happens often IRL. Welcome, welcome to anybody who's just joining us. If you are new to the channel, I'm Famine. We're working on a air conditioner unit, sci-fi air conditioner unit out of an old toy voice box, like you squeeze the bear and it talks. This was from a fish. And I'm using thread ties right now to make little plastic styrene panels that are going to get glued on here to just church it up a little more, make it a little more sci-fi. Right, guys? Right. And if you could, if you like this sort of thing and you subscribe and all that, hit the like button, maybe hit the share button, copy the link. You don't have to actually share it with somebody. You can just copy the link and it helps. If you do want to share it with somebody you don't like. There you go. Listen to this guy ramble. Huh, Uncle Dave? We got to listen to your goddamn, you scream about the Philadelphia Eagles at Thanksgiving every year. Carrying on, take over the whole conversation. Well, now you get to listen to this guy talk about sanding plastic and his graying beard and other life things. Paint on me, cat fuzz. Daisy was a very fuzzy ball today. And I've kind of added a little bit of beveling. Let's see. There we go. I don't know how. Yeah, that's pretty good. I've added beveling to this panel piece just to give it a little more character, a little more depth of field when it gets dry brush. Depth of field, we're going to add depth of field with that, the beveling. It creates depth and recesses and texture. Because of your suggestions, I always copy the share link. Well, thank you. Also, hit the notification bell and have it set to always on so you don't miss these lives. And on the back, we'll just no. Feynman still has his parachute pants and bright white Jordans. I'm gonna like this and heart it, but it's just because if I don't, it won't go away and it'll haunt me. But I do not still have my white Jordans. I do have a pair of pink and white striped Zuba knockoffs that look exactly like a set that I had when I was a kid. That I think I've worn on live here, but I don't like to wear them when I paint because they're one of the few like pajama pants that I own or workout clothes that don't have paint on them. Most of my stuff has paint on it. I've just accepted that, like as an artist, a lot of my stuff's gonna get paint on it, and as a pet owner and a guy that fancies himself, dresses a little bit goth, a little bit punk, most of my black stuff is gonna have cat fur on it. So, um, that's life. Didn't want to stick at all. Oh, I see what happened. The uh, the scuffed up scratch marks in the plastic. I never wiped the back off of it, so when I put the glue on, the glue immediately like fused the plastic dust, and it worked just like baking soda, essentially hardening it. So I just scuffed up the back. Now I'm gonna wipe it again first. Then I'm gonna put some scratch marks on it. Got that super glue off of there. And then I'll wipe it again one more time after the scratch marks. And be careful when you're doing this if you are scratch marking it with an X-Acto knife. Tiny strokes, don't push hard. You just want enough to scratch the surface. You're not trying to dig your way through the piece, and be careful. And you should cut away from yourself. It's one of those bad habits that you learn that you don't unlearn without struggling. And if you do unlearn it, it's because you unlearned it the hard way. But them's the ropes. That's what she said. Who is she? Ah, who is she? Why is she saying these things? Oh, you drying ass bitch. There we go. Oops. Of my viewing audience tonight, if you guys want to comment in the chat, if you don't, that's also perfectly fine. Who here is over the age of 40? Or if you don't want to share, you don't have to share either. That's also an option. Me, 45, Ant, I am 4, 1977. I am 40 in a couple of months, and just thinking of like how thankful I am to have aged out of the draft. Not I. Abby, you a youngin'. Do you guys know Abby's only 21 years old? Just the level of talent that Abby has for a 21-year-old. Remarkable. Abby, hush, don't tell these people things. Uh, got a filed flat bead here that was supposed to be a bowl. No, I don't want to use that. Um, little sci-fi grizzly piece. No, we could use piece of little droid though. Cut that into two pieces and use it. OSHA's little pocket droid Pip. Pip. No, it can't be Pip. Is it Pip? Am I remembering that correctly? Baby Bjorn. Oh, come on now. Who said it, Nebula? Son of a bee. So both sides actually have texture on it. It looks like the same texture on either side, so I'm gonna use the use that to my advantage here. I think. Gonna sand it down a little bit on the painted side, the really painted side. Just enough to get some texture. 1996. Stephen Murphy, how's it going tonight? Stephen Murphy 96. 96 would be the giveaway on that. 1967. Look at that. Same year as Star Wars. Didn't have a third. Yeah, after seeing episode 2. I don't blame you. Ah. Actually, like episode 2. I don't know why I just told that joke like that. We're gonna do a little bit of glue in here. I should hire. Ugh. Use your words, Famine. I should hire an editor one day to have them go through and just cut my footage of these things that I work on so that I can go ahead and re-narrate them and actually give people instructions instead of them having to put up with my bullshit. Imagine coming to this channel to try and learn something and having to listen to me fucking ramble. Jesus Christ, I get sick of myself some days. Oh, we get sick of you most days. Oh. Thank you guys. I'm just gonna take this little piece of that droid and mount him here. No, we'll mount him on the top. There we go. Just another piece. Another piece of greebly. Bays from Rogue. Yeah, we're excited for that. I know. Um, Helps the learning, puts the mind in a passive state. Good thing you quit having kids before the sequels. Ah. Um, yeah, I'm hoping for a lot of figures to enter the TVC line from Rogue One and also Andor. You know, there's plenty of crossover characters. I'd love to see some type of almost like an evolution set. Remember that they used to do with, like, say, the clone troopers. They just did one recently with Darth Vader or Luke Sky or Anakin Skywalker. I think they called it an Anakin themed set. But I'd love to see them do something with that, like with Saw Gerrera. Give us a new sculpt of the part him from the Rebels cartoon, um, or even Clone Wars with the Blurg maybe. But you could also do then include him from Andor seasons 1 and 2, and then his more mechanical, almost Darth Vader esque look as the leader of the partisans on Jeddah as the third figure. I think that would be a very cool. What is my cat doing? That'd be a very cool set. Or do release him with a blurg and his sister with a blurg, or an Ahsoka. I did see what's his face has the really popular Star Wars TVC channel. Um, Buys a lot of stuff and sits on it. Has really impressive dioramas, though. I will not shit on that. Or the contributions to the toys. My brain is not functioning tonight. And help me out. Nope. Nope. He just did a video on getting he just did a video on the nope, not Yak Face. It's a YouTube channel, sir. Toys of the Way. Thank you, Stephen. Yes, Toys of the Way. Um, just did a quick kit bash with a Bib Fortuna head on on a um on a rebel trooper and Endor trooper, and put an Ayla Sakura on an OSHA figure. And that's a two figures off of Amazon right now for I think maybe $9 or $10 total for both of them. They're very cheap, and you could kit bash Twi'lek, uh, Rebel fighters. But yeah, you could do Saw with a sister and a blurg. Make it like a Clone Wars or Rebels throwback, and then also do his looks from Andor and Rogue One. Those would be great because he's one of those characters where he did it. He appeared in the movie and then he came back for the show, but he was also a character in the animated series and voiced by Forrest Whitaker. I think I know why the cats aren't in here right now or trying to get in here. It's because I have the windows open out front just enough because it was 75 degrees out today and it was delightful. And I kind of want to enjoy a little of that. Now go away, moth. There's already a moth out there that thawed. Yeah, Toys of the Way. But he did some really good kit bashes that kind of got me thinking about that. And then they came out with the Baz figure that's coming, and that got my gears really rolling. They're throwing the household items at the zombies to try and stop them. And again, I'm just beveling this piece with a sanding stick and nail file. Head to the Winchester, grab a cold pint, and wait for this all to blow over. Toys Are the Way does good customs. It was bib mixed with Andor and Cobb Vanth. Right. Right. I'm throwing the fucking records. I like it. I'm gonna accidentally injure myself doing this. What's up, Jason Jensen? How are you tonight? What are you looking up at? Like I said, I've got Shaun of the Dead on the TV. Didn't feel much like catching up on any news today. It doesn't seem like the planet blew up overnight, which is nice, I guess. So, not giving myself a break, but certainly being aware enough to know that I can take a second when I need to, and when there's a lull in immediate activity like that. And just using, like I said, using some bread ties right now. Bread tabs, I should say, not bread ties. Mm, yeah. See, just stacking, adding layers, which adds interest. It's nothing major or critical. Doesn't appear to be or do anything, but it's there, and it's sci-fi, and it'll add visual interest when I start to layer this with paint and dry brush. Can do maybe another piece over here, just something a little smaller. Let's see. Okay, let's cut. There we go. Go round mums, kill Phil. Grab Liz, head to the Winchester, grab an ice cold pint, and wait for this all to blow over. You guys will be excited to know I do have a dumpster coming tomorrow, which means I'll be removing a lot. Oh, not tomorrow. Excuse me, on Friday, which means I will be moving a lot of the cleanup and mitigation stuff from downstairs in the bar room. That's going to be the room for the sci-fi bar. I get to get that up and out and start making any repairs that I need to. And so hopefully by fall, I know that's a bit of ways away. And when I say fall, I don't mean of civilization. I'm hoping we survive past that, and hopefully things aren't turbo expensive by then. But hopefully by the fall time, my basement will have been finally dried in and protected from the moisture, mitigating some of the rain and moisture. We're gonna trench out around the house and help with some grading and French draining, and hope that that keeps my basement nice and dry. And then I will be able to start doing things in the sci-fi bar. So that'll mean some of the more some props and things like that. But everything that I'm doing on the big scale is stuff that can be transferred down to the smaller scale, and I'll actually show you guys that. I think that's actually going to be one of the funnest, the more fun things I can do is while I'm, working on a blaster, say in 1/1 scale, because I want to have like a wall with like confiscated blasters or lost and found blaster wall. Um, while doing that, if I have like one that's a similar piece or like Han Solo's blaster, the DL-44, weathering one in 1/18 scale and weathering one in 1-to-1 scale. I think that'd be fun. Night, Bjorn. We'll see you tomorrow, buddy. Be well. I think that'll be neat. And also show you guys like little tricks like how to weather clothing for your costumes. Hopefully, if all goes well, there will be things like creature heads for the walls, so you guys will get to see me like paint bigger things like bones, skulls, flesh tones on, mounted creatures, things of that nature. And actual like wood, like I'd love to stream from my workshop. That's one of the things that the garage, the actual wood shop, where I would be doing my cutting and any forming of metals or plastics that needs to be done out there. I'd love to live stream out there a couple of nights, but I've got to get a Wi-Fi range extender or run a cable out there to the garage. But that's something for a later time, not right now. I hope you guys will be excited for that, or at least be interested enough to tune in, because I love doing the toy stuff. Yep, world building is world building, absolutely, and customizing and weathering is customizing and weathering. But um, I like to do this stuff in this scale. Love this. This will always be my primary on the channel, my passion. But I also like to show off that other stuff, and I like to think I'm very good at that part of things. So it'll be nice to show that off. I don't often get to show that off anymore because I don't officially cosplay anymore. Okay, Illyria, calm down. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam's home. Nah, F that sounds super boring. No, I get it. Dude, some people think Uncle Mommy's home. Some people are like, I don't want to watch you make a big thing. I want to watch you make a small thing. And I'm like, keep talking and it'll stay a small thing. But my point being is that I'll be doing some of that stuff. And if that's something that people um, are interested in, I hope you guys tune into it when I do it. We'll use another piece of cardboard instead. I have another piece of that. We'll do a two corner. I think Adam should do a live stream touching up Sky's helmet. A couple more rivets on this one. Getting new fireflies. They're not doing a. All right, so they've declared it is not a podcast. It is not a convention appearance. So it's going to be a Firefly something, whether that be a show an audio drama, maybe a reunion thing, maybe a short movie, an animated series. Um, but I think that a lot of work has gone into whatever this is, and I think that they know not to be assholes about this. This is something that people have been wanting, and they've made it clear it's not a convention and it's not a podcast. And it's not a crossover episode on any of their existing shows either. That was another thing they clarified. Sanding stick. But I, for one, am excited. It's the one thing. Um, it's probably the one thing that's kept me from going completely banana sandwich lately, is knowing that it's coming out, which is sad, right? Like that's the that's the thing that's keeping me from going nuts right now. But also can't take the sky from me. So I think we need the crew, the Serenity, in one way, shape, or form now more than ever. Big damn heroes. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Yeah, well, she's our witch, so get her the hell down. If I can figure out how to get my DVD player to, yeah, 1/18 scale figures would be great. If I can get my DVD player to play through my laptop over on Discord, maybe we can do like a Firefly night or something and watch the pilot, or maybe watch Serenity or something as a group. This stream is preventing you from eating dinner. Well, don't watch me while you're whacking it. So we've got plenty of detail on there. So let's just come up with something. I'm thinking like there's got to be some type of bigger mechanical scab on here. I just, in my mind's eye, that's what I see is, while it looks like largely without paint, it could speak to me a little more when I start weathering it, but largely this looks like a unit that just existed. There's nothing really super complex on here or like necessary, but I think I want to add something here like a takeoff, because maybe put another water collection thing on it like I've got on the apartment complex tower over there. Maybe this will go on one of those towers, I'm not sure, but something to collect moisture on there. Water would be good because that's what everybody does. They kind of reuse the condensed, that's the word, condensed liquid that comes off of there, not condensated. I don't think that that's an actual word. So maybe we'll put this, now we'll go this way. Make it look like that's coming off the wall. Yeah, absolutely. I can hear Storm trotting around the kitchen. And if y'all are wondering what this piece of Greebly is, it's an IG, maybe an IG-11 piece of an arm. But we're going to repurpose it as some type of takeoff into a container on here. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Oh, hell yeah. Got me saying what? Oh no! I forgot those were over there. Damn, that held up pretty good. All things considered. Jesus. Let's fix that. Put a little glue in the crack. A little glue in the crack. Stand it up straight. Couple of drops of this. It was just me being clumsy and forgetful. Remember, kids, Uncle Famine says don't be clumsy and forgetful. Go, we got a piece of pipe on there now. That's good. I'm comfortable with that. Some piece of greebly. Maybe that on there? Maybe that goes this way? Yeah. I like that for this, whatever this is going to be. So I want it to cut those off too. This is like a little pack. I was going to use it on a droid, but it does feel more component than like a backpack piece. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's going to go on there. I thought about putting it on the side. Like, well, yeah, I like that. All right, cool. We're going to put it on the side. And I'm going to use super glue for this little piece here, but I'm going to use hot glue to base this on. I'll just use my X-Acto knife, trim any excess super glue or hot glue that's oozing out off. But now that's looks like a component of some sort. It's pistoned up against that. And we'll just put another droplet of glue, super glue where they touch. 'Cause every time they touch, they get the feeling, and every time they kiss, they think they could fly. I'm just a space tech bro. I want you to know I'm working on this tonight. I don't know why I'm this way, guys. Clean up here. Starting to get crowded on the old workbench here with all these tools and the like. So just put some of them away. Timber. It's going down. I'm yelling timber. I'm gonna move. You're gonna dance. We'll make a night you won't remember, don't you know? I don't know why I'm this way again. It'd be funny. I could have glued that fucking bottle cap in there. It's black on the inside too. Oh, well, what are you gonna do? All right, let's add. I think the missing component here is going to be whatever I connect to that there. Obviously some sort of wire or hose, but we'll do that after we paint this up, I think. Excuse me. We're gonna, let me just quickly clean off the hot glue. Stop leaning on it, fam, and you're gonna break the clips off again, then it's gonna get messy. You stop telling me what to do, Famine. Well, I'm just speaking from the voice of experience. Experience these nuts, famine. All right. Not cool, man. Not cool. It's an important part of the process to talk to yourself like that. Or am I gonna do that when or should I paint it? I should put it on and paint it. Um, what color wire do we have? I say wire. It says garden wire, my lord. Ouch. Now, famine, don't just drop down on your knees there, man. That ain't good for your knees or your back. Most guys my size couldn't do that. Stand up from a single knee. There's absolutely nothing of fill left in there. Mm, it's a special set for clipping that, so I don't use it on plastic, or I try not to. But this is garden wire or twist wire. Get it at the dollar store, the hardware store. I think I got this one at a hardware store. But I'm going to take the wire out. But I got a little trick here. I am going to keep that last bit in. Just so that that hooks inside. Well, no, take that right off. We're going to be good. We got this. And then I don't know if this is going to do anything because I think this is silicone, maybe. Maybe it's rubber. Maybe it is just rubber. And then we'll go. Do I want to go up that way? No, we'll go this way. Yeah, we'll go under the button. So first thing we're going to do, I'm just letting it lightly score the tip of that rubber hose. Nice drop of super glue. First thing I'll do, put a little bit more there. What's on there? Now we will grab that. Y'all saw that, right? Put a drop of glue there. Put that guy down. Put a drop of glue right here. And then I'll feed that right up to there. Good job, Famine. Glued your finger to it again. It's just adding texture. Maybe. wonder. It just might fit. Nice. And then just for insurance purposes, you'll just need to put down a credit card. You know, in case you wreck anything. All right, so now we've got some type of chemical science going on there. I like that. Let's blast this off real quick, dry it. Hey, you pipe down over there. And we'll do one more coat of black on the spots that are now occupied by something, dry it, and we'll start our dry brushing. We should be pretty quick on this. This is a pretty easy project, just using trash and scraps. You can do this using trash and scraps. One day I just started gluing. Now, obviously, because you all know I'm a professional, were I doing this just by myself and bashing, didn't have the luxury, I should say. I shouldn't even say didn't have to. Didn't have the luxury and the opportunity to talk to you guys and show you guys what I was doing. I would probably do it a little bit quicker. You could probably do this quicker on your own too, especially if you have an idea in your head of what you want it to look like. Whereas in this case tonight was me kind of brainstorming and putting this together all in one sitting, which isn't always, but is sometimes you get on a project, you come up with your plans, and you're able to execute them right then and there. And that is sometimes just the best damn opportunity. You know what I mean, Vern? A little bit more black primer paint here that I'm using. Once again, I just really love this stuff. Tester's Chalkboard Crap Paint. Brought to you by Mattel. It says Testers on it. Brought to you by Mattel. Hell yeah, shit yeah, fuck yeah, brother. That's been stuck in my head all God blessed day today. Which God? Certainly not the Abrahamic ones, the old gods, the elders. The ones that ruled before and still shall rule again. The ancient beacons of the dark ones. Those gods that may rise from the depths. Cleanse this plane of all that we have done and all that we shall do. The name of the Great One, David, His name is David? Yes. So, like, it's not Cthulhu? No, it's Dave. Y'all don't know about Dave? Fucking Dave. He is related to Craig. Craig Christ. So no relation to Jesus though.
Jesus Christi.
Jesus, hi Christy. Nome me patri filii spiritus sancti man. Sorry, I don't know what's going on today. Just in a silly mode with my magic wand over here and not the Hitachi guide. And if you can, smack the like button if you haven't already. Like I said, hit that share button, copy it, give it to somebody you don't like. Or somebody you like, that's fine. But it helps. And if you're on the replay squad, go ahead and hit that replay button. I do have a Patreon. I do have a Ko-Fi. Those links are down below. There's a free tier on Patreon, and I believe my Ko-Fi messaging thing is free. And so feel free to sign up for those free tiers. You do not have to donate to the channel. I understand it is very hard out here for everybody. It's just an option there if you're in a place where you're able to, but I don't want anybody to put themselves out. It's just, it helps. Like I said, you guys are literally helping keep the lights on now, and I appreciate that. So thank you. And you're supporting the arts. And you know what? Just being here and watching, hitting the like button, those other things that are free, they also help. So thank you. Thank you. And yeah, this thing is tremendous. I'll have to get the link from Ant and put it in the show notes, or give it to you or Bjorn so that you guys can drop it in the chat while the show's on the air. Yeah, buddy. All right, all right. Pipettes of super glue. The I'll have him go ahead and get the links for that. I'll get the links for that too. Ant can't drop. Oh, he can drop it. Link for the heat gun and the pipette extensions for the super glue. Poor Favor. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the show after a long time, it's Storm at the door. Hang on, Storm. I'm coming to the door, buddy. Just got to move the hot glue gun because we're all set with that. Come on in, sir. Come on. Hey, you just knocked on the door the whole time. You coming in or no? Hi, sir. Hello. Your audience was waiting for you. Hi, buddy. Let me move the paint tray. Ready? Up, up. Show off for the audience. Good job, bud. Say hello. I'm in the box again. See, Adam, I'm in the box. Cat in the box. Bet you Abby's watching. Yeah. You're the star of the show. Get your box, buddy. Good kid. This guy. You're gonna do big things in Hollywood, buddy. There you go. Thank you, Aunt. And the pipette extensions, if you don't mind. I know you're probably looking right now. Adam needs to get his pipette extended. You can pay for that. Um, it's just not guaranteed to take, but you go to Turkey for like hair extensions, so you could probably get your pipette extensions on the same trip. Um, let's do silver first. We're gonna do gunmetal. Do we want to do wrought iron? We'll do gunmetal first. All right. Gunmetal War Painter paints. Thank you. Thank you. They're in the chat, guys. Stormy Storm. You so big and handsome. All right, now I'm going to dry brush this gunmetal all over this bad boy, or good boy, depending on how you look at it. Hitting all the high points, just really favoring the high points. Because we're going to then come over with certain colors in certain areas. But this is going to be like a really worn unit. Maybe they took this off of something that was windswept or had been stripped at one point. So I don't want to go crazy on the color. I want this to look, how do I want to explain it? Beat up but well maintained, right? Good jump, Storm. Like somebody goes out and buys a a Camaro or something, an old Camaro, and they strip it down and there's some nice patina on it, but you can tell that they've certainly taken care of it. They've worked on it a little bit. Maybe it's put together with different sections of things, but I want this to be maintained looking. So I'm not going to go crazy on the panel color. Like, you'll see what I mean. But I guess the best way to try and explain it, like I said, is like if somebody went out and got an old car and just really sealed in the patina and wanted to just maintain it by replacing parts. They weren't too precious about keeping the paint looking fantastic on it. And so we're giving all the areas where it's high metal, really just a good polish with this dry brush. And you can see I've only wet it twice with paint and wiped off the majority of the pigment. These paints are very pigment heavy, and so that helps build up that look. And so we've got now it's like, all right, here's this mechanical thing. Let's see what we can do. Those again real quick. All right. So now for certain areas, I'm going to do some wrought iron dry brush. Thinking around here on the vent, you know, maybe when it's pulling in air, it's just pulling in iron and sulfur and things like that. So that wrought iron is going to put a different color there. But I'm not gonna scrub the brush out. I'm just gonna do a few of those to get it out of there. We'll grab the rough iron right there. Give it a quick shake. Right there a little bit. And again, rough iron metallic by Army Painters War Paints. I always want to say War Painter, and I know that's incorrect, and that's why I always stop and look. I'm like, am I saying this right? Same difference. We're using that paper towel to just dial this paint back on the brush. It looks like it's on there. It's heavier pigment, but we've dialed it way back. So we're using this to just so I'm going heavier down here to, oh, you guys can't see. Womp womp. So I'm doing heavier, multiple layers towards the bottom, and then I'm just lightening it up towards the top. So, pulling in different metals, particulates, and maybe it's a little hot, maybe it gets hot and cold as it draws in. And then we'll do this thing with a little bit of that color too, just for some differentiation. Add a little something as we work. And then yeah, I think that's good on those two metals there. Now we're going to do a little bit of dry brushing with some I want to say white, but I think we could do a little bit better than that. I think we got some other ideas first we want to do. So let's take this fluffy little brush here. We're going to use this to dry brush. It's got stiffer, but well, I guess, yeah, it's got stiffer than the makeup brush, these bristles, but they're longer, so they've got a little bit more give. But it takes a little bit more of a draw in there. I want to do some colors, I'm thinking. Maybe we'll do a blue. Like we'll do old timey. Well, we could do the verdigris. That's always classic. Like we'll do. No, that's too military. We'll do blue gray. That's almost military, but also like home 1950s and 60s retro future tech. Am I going for a retro futuristic aesthetic? No. But does that stop me ever from doing anything? No, also has not. So we're just gonna do these three, the circle and these two in that color. And I'm really just focusing towards the center. I'm okay with the edges having that silver showing. And in fact, maybe dry brushing that isn't the way to go. Maybe I dry brush it first and then I do a little bit of this speckling. Like that. Looks good on camera too. I do like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dry brush those other two and speckle. And on that last pass, I didn't do a full coverage. I just covered certain areas. So it creates a depth of paint. I think at least I can see it. And so, like I said, I'll dry brush on this piece too. Down here. I'm going to be careful of that hose, even though we can paint over it. Now we'll do a little bit of the speckling, like I said. And it's like, why is this like this? I don't know. Those are just three pieces that are very similar that maybe came from the same bit of technology. But I like that. And here I'm just kind of getting underneath, just getting that ledge. So we've got three pieces, and I can again pick a couple of spots to speckle in on. And I'm just in my head, the blue signifies maybe not a branding or something, but like blue, it's for cooling. I think that's as good a thought as any as to why that's on there. Let me know in the chat if you think I'm wrong. Just about life in general, not just this. I can be wrong about a lot of things at once, trust me. You never watch me try and do homework. Fuse with pipe guns. It's meant for heating and dissolving. Oh, okay, you're explaining the gun. The heat gun. That guy loves his noozles. Okay, we're gonna do the body in a nice dry brush and speckle white. Not gonna go crazy. Probably actually won't speckle it very much. I just want the you know, it's almost like it remembers at one point that it was white. But time and age have gotten to it. Like Eminem. Ah, because it needs to. No, I actually like Eminem. I don't know why I just took that cheap shot. Everybody's a hater. And no, that wasn't a racist joke. That was a racial joke. Anybody who's watching this and thinks that they, need to come for me for that. Jesus Christ, this guy thinks he's the George Carlin of YouTube. See, it's starting to give that illusion. I do like that. What color did I use? I'm just using matte white from Army Painter War Paints, and I use Vallejo blue gray for the buttons. Well, the circle and the bars on there, and I'm just like gradually. I wouldn't even call it. I guess it is dry brushing, but it's more of like I'm doing a frosty brush. It's almost like a feather instead of streaks like dry brushing would bring you. If that makes any sense at all. Son of a bitch, I did it again. It's all right. Very, very retro future sci-fi. Like this is in an abandoned warehouse of something, which I'm digging on. I'm digging on that effect. Like I absolutely could fuck with that and just leave it. I do think I want to do something up here. Um, Maybe just a little, like a pop of no, because that's red, white, and blue again. I don't want that. Maybe a pop of yellow or orange up top. Let's we'll use this. We'll really go white on this piece. Maybe this is like the newest add-on. It's a regulator or something. Just stands out a little bit more against that. Or maybe I just do more white on top. I actually think that's probably a better idea is to just do more white on those pieces there. And I'm more, like I said, I'm more feathering the paint than I am dry brushing it on there. Um, Maybe on these other pieces. I don't want to do green. I don't want to do purple. I'd leave them like that, but I don't want to. Actually, maybe we do white. Just hear me out on this. This is either going to look cool or it's going to look stupid, but I'm doing it. This piece. Guess it's a little more modern. I'll do the same with this one. I guess these are the newest pieces that are patches or repairs or whatever on here. So maybe they're from newer stock parts. There. Just blend that a little. All right. And now we'll do our classic, often imitated, always duplicated because I show you how to do it, hopefully the right way. We're going to go ahead and get our chalk pastels out. Give this a little weathering and call it an afternoon. Did I leave those out? Did I keep those out for something? Famine, what did you do with your own chalk pastels? I don't know. Did you leave them out? No. Did you try and eat them again? Possibly. Yeah, there. Try looking under things next time, Famine. Well, heck you. And we're just going to need for this, we're going to use a different makeup brush today instead of this one. Try this one. This is not a makeup. Eat glue sticks, not chalk. There you go. Make a shirt. That's cool. I'm not eating James Corden. He's a terrible comic. We'll do a little bit of the red. And then we'll do the yellows and greens and browns this time. But we'll do the orange, the rusty rust. Get a little on our brush, our makeup brush here. Just take a lot of it off. And we'll go put a little bit of rust down here on that rough iron that we did. Just on the radius and a little bit down. I think that could use a little bit more. There we go. So you just picked up that little bit of rust and it looks good on camera, but it doesn't look overwhelming, which is what you want. Like I said, we're going to stick to yellows and greens tonight. Maybe some browns. And thought ran through my head of, people might not understand why when you do your weathering, you don't follow like a certain same weathering formula. Well, I do. I just vary the colors a little bit on different things because colors on different types of materials, metals, wood, plastics, polymers, when things get different things, they have different reactions. So the colors may vary a little bit, but you'll see the common themes of the rust orange, the browns that I use. I work off of this palette. It's just they're not all going to look the exact same, especially if they're different materials and not put there together as the same thing at the same time. So I had just a little yellow dust over top. Again, just adds a little bit extra. And we'll take a little bit of yellow and just add it up here in a couple of spots. It'll probably get covered, but it's just so subtle. I don't hate it. It's a good way to use up a little bit of this too. Not like I'm ever going to run out. Like I said, this should, if I were able to keep working on this and do art, maybe make it to 80 and this would last. I said if, no jokes. I had a pretty good doctor's appointment today, all things considered, so I don't want to hear it. Okay, I lost some pounds. It's going to be a while before anybody wants to give me a piggyback ride, but just be nice, okay? So we got the green on here. It's almost closer to an olive green, or closer to an avocado when it's applied instead of I don't know, an olive green like it looks. But we'll do just a little bit on there. Maybe it looks a little bit like runoff from up top. Just adds a little bit. We'll hit a little bit above the robin's egg part, the radius of that hose, and a little bit on the shelf, just the top part of that, over here too. So I keep looking at this on the camera because I'm trying to see how it's going to appear in photograph, and I'm liking that. I do wish I had some logos to put on here, like stickers of some sort. I have a couple that maybe will look the part that we can do very last before I just stipple it with Mod Podge. But let's go to the brown. We'll do the dark brown first. We're going to get the dark browns here. We want this to look a little bit more like maybe oil, like dried up cruddy oil. And we will be putting some wash on a couple of these parts, but I think just really mashing this into the recesses and then wiping down the high points is going to add to the griminess overall, even though there will be washes involved. Right in the corner there, maybe over that new remote, just a little bit on the top, especially around the top. Just get a few different colors because that could be debris. Put a little of the pink on there. Could be from, runoff from upstairs apartments, birds, drone, soot in the air. I say drone droppings, which would actually be a funny name for an air delivery service. Come on down to Billy's House of Drone Droppings. We'll deliver whatever you need. Drugs? You got it. Guns? You got it. Lawyers? Well, we can't deliver those yet, but otherwise, if you need human body parts, we can absolutely hook you up, and also alien parts. I don't know where that came from. Now we'll do the lighter brown after we get that. A little in there. In there. Put some on these rails, definitely. So it looks like, they've been used, they've been worn on. We'll do some griming on the side there. Actually didn't realize I wasn't doing that side. That's how focused I was on making those details on the other end pop. That I didn't pay close enough attention, but that's okay. We're going to make it We're gonna make it. We're gonna get through this together. And then we'll just pull up a little bit more of that orange. And then some yellow, and I think that that'll be good as far as the pastels go. Maybe we'll do a little of the black too. Can't hurt. Damn, excuse me again. A light yellow on there. All right, so that's taken care of. You know, I do like this so much. It's going to become a dedicated chalk pastel uh, brush. A couple of different ones. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. So let's see. As far as stickers go, for small matches of stickers. Knock stuff over. Hell yeah. A couple of Ghostbusters pack. I just spatted while I was talking. A couple of Ghostbusters pack sticker details, but yeah, I think we can make these work into something. I actually think these are additional neutrino wand stickers to like add details, but we're going to use it to look like some type of technological reference. Now you guys will sit here and watch me try and peel this off of the paper. Yes, they are stickers. I know this because I've peeled them myself and used them before. All right. Guess we're going to try and be sneaky. Drop it. Oh. Oh. There we go. Just weather that a little bit. There we go. You know, hit that with a washer too. That'll make that look old. And we'll do one of these stickers. We'll stick it up in the corner. I think that will satisfy my desire to have some type of pseudo logo or label of some sort. And what we'll do for this part is we'll do a little bit of weathering on here now, and then we'll trim the edges. Scuff that up. Take this over to the paper towel I was using for collecting the chalks, wiping it off on there. Get a little on that sticker. Make it look older than it is. Cool, cool. Then take our scissors, our skizzer, snip off the excess, not the access, but the excess. Why is this piece so important to me? I don't know. Come on, Lenore. Here we go. Whoop. No. Look at that. That looks like we weathered it right with that. Yeah, buddy. Just there. I suppose we'll sign the back. I don't know why, but we're going to sign the back. No, I'm not going to break out the fancy ones just yet. But, stay at the 10th. Cool. Right. We had it, guys. We're done. We did a thing. We turned a piece of scrap garbage that would have wound up in a dump into an AC unit that goes on the side of a building to condense and collect moisture on the outside too. It pulls the moisture in. But yeah, there we go. There we got it. I am happy with that. I will post pictures over on Instagram. But I hope you guys have an excellent remainder of the week. I'm gonna do a post stream on Friday, and we will post WMC stream, I should say. I hope you guys have an excellent week. I hope everybody stays safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eyes on finishing out whatever you've got going on this week. Hopefully things get better for you if you're having a tough week, and if you're having a good week, I hope you stay having a good goddamn week. If you need anything, you know where to find me. You can find me at Famine Studios on Instagram. You can find me here on YouTube. The community tab is now open, so you guys can show off your work there to other members of the community that want to see your things, or you want to share your work with people. Um, World Makers Consortium on Friday. We are kicking off all the information about our fancy joust tournament that we've got coming up, and so much more. And that is 8 o'clock on Friday on Rad Toys Galaxy's channel. But we'll be doing the post show stream here after I wrap up the show, get something to eat, and then I'll be back later in the evening. But until then, in the meantime, between time, there's a Patreon. Like I said, there's a free tier. Sign up. I do put notices and post things there. I don't leave out my free friends. Uh, it's a great way to share what I do in a different manner, make longer posts and writing underneath them. I do post exclusive vlogs and sneak previews of like things that I'm working on there before they get put on the channel here or over on Instagram. And if you can't, absolutely, I understand. There's a lot going on. Make sure your own lights are turned on. Um, keep food in your fridge. Take care of your pets. Take care of yourselves and others. Triple D, thank you for being here. One of our channel members. I hope you guys have an excellent day. Be well. Too sweet me. And we did that. Yeah. Be good, guys.